Welcome back to Boss Guys Reviews. In this review, we're going to be taking a look at the new Joytoy, The Cult of San Reja Neil 1/18 scale action figure. This is the packaging it comes in. It's a black box. We have the very nice artwork on the front of the character, the nameplate at the top, Joytoy at the bottom, the scale at the bottom, and then on the top right, we do have the Battle for the Stars logo. Top of the box, we just have the Joytoy, and the bottom of the box of the Joytoy name also. Here on the side of the box, we do have a product statement. Pause and read on your own. Some warning for choking hazards. Not for children on age of 3, and these are recommended for ages at least 17 and up, because these are adult collectible. The other side of the box, we have some more product information, company information, UPC. Not sure the UPC is good here in the United States. Not sure anywhere else in the country. So if you want to pause and read that information, if it interests you. This is what it looks like with the figure packaged in the clamshell and with all his accessories. Pretty much, has its own slot, but there is a little bag in behind. Take a look at that shortly. And then you also get a product insert, which we have this. And then this part we have the accessories statement. We have pictures of the figure. We have this top piece here that unfolds. The name and the Battle for the Stars. But here on the back we have some precaution statements. If you want to pause and read that, you can. And then we have the breakdown instructions for the figure if you need to take it apart. So here's Neil outside the packaging. First impression, it just looks as good as the product images when they were released. Looks really cool. Very original design. Just like Joytoy is known for. You're not going to get figures like this currently anywhere else. So let's go and take a look at the aesthetics. Here he has a dog. I'm going to say dog because I don't think that looks like a wolf to me. He has a green 3-dotted device over one eye, and the other eye on this side is stitched as an X. A little bit of damage to the ears. Black nose. It's like he has a broken tooth on this side. This is removable. Shoulder pad with some, it's like the legs of the dog / wolf. Some claws there. I'm not sure what we're going with the overall skin tone, but it's definitely different, and having something different is not a bad thing. Then we have some arm gauntlets, pads here on the top. And then we have a fur belt, I guess we're going to call it. And then we have like a little skull on the front. It's like these grayish pants. We have paws for knee pads. We have thigh pads. And then we have some fur on his boots with some spikes. So let's get some nice product images, shots of this guy in different angles. See if we can get, looks really good. So with his one side of his arm pads. The back of the figure. The back here we do have a place for his pistol. Here is a shot of the other arm. It's pretty much the same as both arms, so too bad. Shot of the thigh pad. The other thigh pad. And his boots. Some spikes on here. Definitely don't want to get kicked with those things. Have this metal plate with spikes on it across the top of his foot. 2 peg holes in the bottom. Now, when you get your figure, it's going to come, plastic wrapped around the box, so you know it's brand new. I opened mine up because of the glare of the light, and I needed to check the overall joints before we can get us a nicer view here of the articulation. Fortunately, I come to find out a lot of my joints were stuck. They wouldn't move. So let's get into that. These figures look great, but I'm worried about the joints, to be honest with you. So this is a heads up warning for you guys if you want to pick this up. The joints were stuck. I heated them multiple times. Once they've cooled, they pretty much were stuck again. It's like the shoulders are the main problems, kind of like the female figures of the Joytoy line. If you've watched any of my other videos, or you actually have a female character, and there's some other issues. So let's take a look at some of them. So this is removable, no sweat. Nice looking piece. The head off. I can see a nice white mask with the red eyes, kind of like a rebreather maybe on his face. Some straps on the back, top of his head. Looks cool. So I'm going to go ahead and remove. This is removable. And one of the problems we're going to talk about first is the overall poor measurement for the neck. So this is what it looks like. We have major gappage issues. So if you want to display your figure without the fur, you're going to have to like accept this kind of aesthetic. Now the head will go down, up, side to side. Obviously you can't do that with the animal head that's on top. Now the arms here go 360. That's my major problem. You hear that? It just freaks me out like it's going to break. They go 360. And then be very careful with those. These are going to be a breaking point. I know it. Here at the elbow, they bend kind of more than, maybe 9 degrees. And they swivel 360. The wrist on a new ball joint, they kind of go around like this, up and down, left and right, in a very small range, as we expected. He does have some chest articulation. You can get an ab crunch, some back. You have side to side, like so. And then here, this piece, this waist piece, is not removable. You'd have to take the figure apart. The legs. Now, I think we have two different kind of plastics. These little pieces in here are rubber, and that's what's making these stick. So this leg here is stuck pretty good. So I'm not going to force it, but you get an idea of the overall articulation for the splits. It kind of go up about that much. For some reason, this is not, because of being a rubber material, is more friction. Double joint knees. Again, it's kind of still sticking, so I got to be careful. This is out there about 4 or 5 times trying to heat this guy. Here's ankle articulation down, up. We have a side to side a little bit. And there's toe articulation that goes up, but keeps sticking. I have a really hard time getting it back down, so I'm not going to do it, but you can see the joints, bottom of his feet. So that's basically really upsetting, because this is a great figure. I can see a lot of people want to play with them. Like that just terrifies me there, because these are not cheap figures. You shouldn't have that problem with these figures. From my experience, I think if Joytoys focus on something else, they kind of screw up other figures, and they put the room in a rush, and then you can see the overall joints here, how they just don't look like they took a lot of care in those joints. This camera can focus, and it's kind of unsightly because you can see it's not really skin toned, they're just joints. They have the black joints in the back of the legs also. But if you're going to display your figure with all the fur, it kind of wipes out some of the issues, besides the obviously the articulation in the shoulders. So that is probably the best I can do for articulation without risk damaging my figure. I am going to have to continue to work on trying to get him to function properly without breaking the joint. So I'm going to go ahead and get him back geared up, and we'll go from there. So this is where Joytoy really shines on the accessories. So you can see how well a little bit of paint goes a long way. Very unique design. We have silver blades on both sides. Orange here, it's holding the blades. We have this little centerpiece here. It's got orange, silver, and black. We got this cloth material here, like an off-white, and it has weathering or blood splatter on it. Black shaft, and then we have a little bit of weathering here on the tip of some dry brushing of some silver paint. This looks pretty awesome. He can hold the spear really nicely. Or if you just wanted to do hold it with two hands, you can get him to do that also. Very quickly here. And it looks pretty good. The next accessory comes with is like this weapons gun here. It's green, there's some silver scopes, some cloth wraps throughout. This blade here on the front. Again, very unique design of Joytoy. Very hard to come by something like this in the 1/18 scale from any big boxed companies. This is really, really nice. The accessories definitely shine in this figure, so there's no issues there. And actually looks like there is a drilled barrel. It is very, very small, like a needle nose or muzzle. Looks very nice. You see, you can hold it really nicely. Looks pretty cool. Perfect scale for the weapons. And the pistol kind of follows suits with his larger weapon. Same color pattern, same blade, different on the front. So it gives a little block here. It's maybe a makeshift silencer. White wrap on the handle. It's kind of a comparison here. Definitely gives these weapons ownership to the character. Looks really nice. You can see they can hold the pistol, but with this hand here, he has no trigger finger. But he can hold it straight forward really nicely. So he comes with an extra set of hands, and this one probably has a trigger finger here that you could swap out if you want to, but make sure you heat up your wrist before you do that so you don't break your joint. You do not get extra joints. So in the baggie, you get two more accessories. You get this knife. Very nicely done. This knife is thick. Very, very thick. It is obviously grind down to a blade side. A lot of paint, some color. We have the green, and we have the off-white wrap. What's unique about this, if you can see this piece right here, it looks like that's like almost like a folding piece. Definitely not a foldable knife. There's nowhere for the blade to go into the handle, but it looks like that you could adjust the knife maybe like 10L shape or 90 degrees, and you can do like some kind of special weapons handling. You see, it looks like it would like fold up, but it doesn't. But it kind of gives that appearance. I think that's a pretty cool idea. Very nice, very shiny. Alright, so let's take a look at the last accessory, which is his shield. Again, a very unique design by Joytoy. Very cool. We have silver. We have this ram's head skull type. We have black spikes. Definitely can do some damage. You ram, against somebody with it, or maybe a stabbing piece like this. Even this way you can like maybe grab and tear. And then on the back he has a handle which you snap onto his wrist, and then a grabbing piece for his hand. And it's definitely shaped like uniquely too, so you can see that. This is a cool shield. Okay, here he is holding the knife. Not too bad. Looks good. Fortunately, one of the things, there's nowhere to stick the knife on his person. So I would like to have at least that attached to him in some kind of sleeve, maybe on his thigh pad or in his boot. Would have been a really nice addition. He can hold his knife in a downward position. That looks pretty crazy right there. Get some pretty cool poses out of that once you get your joints working. Okay, so one of the other problems is if you want to utilize a shield, you want to clip it on, you have to remove this forearm piece. It's not going to fit over this, and if you attempt to, you're going to stress your plastic or potentially break it. So that is definitely an issue. So I'm not going to tear it off right now, but that's what it would look like if he's holding the shield. It's definitely an oversight on Joytoy's development process. They need, I said before, they definitely need to start trying these accessories to make sure there's no issues with the figures. If you're paying a premium price, you should get premium figures. So my final thoughts for this guy. Aesthetically, he looks awesome. The product shots really made him sell. Usually you'll find it between like $28, $35, depending where you get it. So it's on average. Is he perfect? No. Do I recommend it? Yes. It's not a highly recommend, but I like it. Once you get, just know a few bodies, you got a little work to do, at least with Neil. You got to get those joints working. I just don't feel like the quality is there this time around. But he's a cool character. Put the work in. Don't break your joints. You don't get extra ones. The issues I have is the different kind of materials we're using. Is obviously some more softer rubbery type plastic on the jointed areas like the shoulders, and definitely there, just above the thighs. He sticks a lot, so be very careful. The accessories are amazing. I love them. Like I said, I love the design. The playability is the issue I have now. I'm going to continue to work on heating my figure until I can get it to where it either works or breaks. So that's my final thoughts for that. I hope you guys enjoyed this information, this review. If you did, don't forget to subscribe. Please like and share the video. Comment down below if any questions. Please share your experience with if you have this figure or if you're thinking about buying the figure, so we all can get the information we need so we can make a intelligent decision on if we're going to invest our money into this figure or not. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next review.